Hi, I'm Sean from dishonorablespeechandpolitics.com, and with this video I'm transitioning from my How to Say It More Honorably YouTube series to a new series called Suggested More Honorable House Leader Tweets. I know my titles favor being descriptive over being short and snappy, but I hope you'll bear with me. In this new series, I'll talk about some of the tweets I've put out in the last week or two from my @npelosion and @kmccarthyon Twitter accounts, which correspond to @Speaker Pelosi and @GOP Leader accounts for Democratic Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi and Republican Leader of the House Kevin McCarthy, respectively. My goal with these accounts is to show how politicians could speak more honorably. I hope that by showing how things could be said more honorably while still getting the message across, these Twitter accounts may inspire people both in and out of politics to speak more honorably, i.e., in a way that ultimately supports love over hate, according to my definition of honorable speech. I plan to alternate which Twitter account I talk about in this video series, so one week I'll explore Pelosi tweets, the next McCarthy tweets, and so on. I'll be starting this week with two of McCarthy's tweets, one in which there are inaccurate and misleading information, and one in which there is promotion of violence, in my opinion. The first tweet from May 12, 2021 read, "Last year was the deadliest on record for police officers in 50 years. This year is likely to be even worse. More cops have been shot and killed in the first 5 months of 2021 than in all of 2020 and 2019. We must protect those who protect our communities." My suggested more honorable version was to not tweet this at all because, although there was no source given for the data so that it could be checked directly, the data appears to be both inaccurate and misleading. According to odmp.org, last year was the deadliest year for police officers due in large part to 234 deaths attributed to COVID-19 out of 362 total line of duty deaths. The implication from the rest of the tweet mentioning shot and killed is that last year was the deadliest due to shooting deaths. So I believe the first sentence is misleading. The second has data that is inconsistent with that at odmp.org, which reports 49 officers were killed by gunfire in 2019, 49 in 2020, and 23 in the first 4 1/3 months of 2021. So the second sentence of McCarthy's tweet is inaccurate, at least according to the odmp.org data. That's Officer Down Memorial Page data that I could locate. This tweet also contained opinion offered as fact in "likely to be even worse" and "we must protect those who protect our communities." Now here again are the original tweet and the corresponding tweet I put out. The second tweet I want to talk about from May 10th, 2021 read, "Israel has every right to defend itself against violence in the barrage of rockets from Hamas. The United States unequivocally stands with our ally Israel and the Jewish people." Honestly, I struggled with how to write a suggested more honorable version of this tweet, and I want to emphasize that it's just a more honorable version, not necessarily a completely honorable or most honorable version. With that in mind, here's what I came up with. U.S. House Republicans strongly condemn the rocket attacks on our ally Israel, for which Hamas has claimed responsibility. Although force should only be used as a last resort, we believe Israel has every right to defend itself against violence. The first thing I did was indicate that McCarthy, as head of the House Republicans, can really only speak for them, not the entire United States. I also rewrote barrage of rockets from Hamas to hopefully make it less negative emotion inspiring, which I believe makes it less likely to inspire more violence. The part about every right to defend itself is what I really struggled with, because there's some opinion in there in terms of what exactly constitutes defend, and I believe it does promote violence. My suggested more honorable versions of tweets are meant to show how one could express one's views and opinions more honorably, so what I tried to do was still keep part of McCarthy's original message but temper it with "although force should only be used as a last resort," so that it at least promotes violence less. By the way, there is opinion in last resort, because what you may think is a last resort, I may not, just like we might not agree on what exactly constitutes a nation defending itself. And here again are the original tweet and my suggested more honorable version. That brings this first episode of Suggested More Honorable House Leader Tweets to a close. Please follow my Twitter accounts, like this video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you want to support more honorable speech in the world. Thank you for watching.